Time for a seat upgrade. Been sitting my butt on this Brillo pad of a seat that Walker gives you with the mowers, or at least they used to give you with your mowers. I never really thought about it, but I definitely have back pain, and I find myself slouching forward when I'm mowing a lot of the times. And if you look at the back profiles on these, this has more of a laid back profile than that one does. This new comfort seat, this is now standard on all the new Walker mowers. I guess they've done away with these, but back when these were standard on the mowers, this was an option. They actually had a comfort seat similar to this, but it was a cloth material and not this like leather material or whatever it is now. So this is the upgrade from that, that has this little extra leg support here too, which is nice. So can't believe I've taken this long to upgrade my seat, but I was always like, if the seat was in good shape and wasn't ripped, it was good, and it's still in good shape. But you know, I got to thinking about it. It's almost like replacing your mattress. It's one of those things you don't think about that often, but you're spending so much time on it. It's crazy not to spend good money on a quality mattress, same as a seat. If I'm going to be sitting on this mower, you know, hours of whatever caliber per week, it just makes sense to be, you know, postured a little better and more comfortable. Like I said, I can't believe I've waited till now, but this was kind of the icing on the cake. I wasn't going to do it with this mower. I ended up going a little farther than I wanted to price-wise. I want to say now I probably got a good $3,000 into this whole restoration project. But again, a good half of that was tasteful upgrades: the bigger blower, the seat, the split tail wheels. You know, and I got the bigger, better hopper and stuff like that. Oh, also I got the what is it? The oscillator finally working, along with the beeper in the back here. I haven't had one of these working in a Walker for I don't know how long. It still bags fine without this oscillating back and forth. I'm sure it does pack it in a little better with this thing working, but also that gives you the, oh, it's this way. Gives you the warning for when the grass is full. I've just been going by, basically just from experience, you can kind of tell the mower has a little bit of a different tone when it's sucking the grass up when you get near full. So that's what I've been doing as far as knowing when to empty the catcher. And yeah, don't get me wrong, there's been times where I got it wrong and I ended up clogging, and you know, then you got to lift this up, stick your hand in here and unclog. Sometimes you got to flip up the deck and be able to get under that tube there. So, but like I said, we end up upgrade wise, we've got a bigger hopper. We now have an oscillator that works. We've got the bigger GHS blower in it. We've got a more comfortable seat. We've got the cup holder, big deal, right? We've got the quick deck adjust, which this is a really big deal. This is really, really, really nice to have. So I was able to get that as an upgrade, and I think that's about it as far as performance wise. Oh, and the again, the split tail wheel, which gives it more stability on hills, and it's going to make it easier for me to trailer. So quite a few upgrades for my money, and again, it is $3,000, but these mowers are, you know, 15, 16, 17 grand depending on what model you get, or even higher. You know, so we're talking a fraction of what a new one costs, and you know, this thing looks as good as one that I've used for a month or two if I bought it brand new. Granted, all the components aren't brand new in it. I will have some issues in the future, but I now have this complete parts mower, which I don't think I've done the update on this. I ended up fixing the head gasket on this. Shut it down overnight, started it up the next morning. The cylinder was full of water again. What it come down to is I've examined this over and over again. I've taken the intake manifold off, which has a water passage in it. The water actually goes through the intake manifold, and I thought maybe here is where some of the water was getting in. So I replaced this gasket, and I also did a pressure test on the intake manifold to make sure that that wasn't cracked internally. What it comes down to is when I take this head without a gasket and I slide it on the block, it actually has a little bit of a rocking to it. So I'm pretty sure either the head or the block or both is warped. I pretty much gave up on this. I didn't need this as a second mower anyways. I really didn't know what I was going to do with it. And again, I bought it basically 4 parts. What I ended up doing with this machine is I took the hopper off of it, which was the bigger, better with the working oscillator in it, which was an upgrade. I've got a brand new set of wheels that I'll have for spares or to sell if I want. I've got this mulching deck that I actually switched this carrier frame. This carrier frame was on my mower. I put the newer style, the square boxy style, that I am able to attach this quick release to, and that was also part of this mower, so I got that upgrade out of it. What else did I get? I got I'm going to take this mower the rest of the way apart, and I'm going to take both of the hydros out and the PTO box for the blade engagement. Both of those, all 3 of those are in very good shape with fairly low hours. I've got a nice new set of tail wheels that I can sell, and I've already sold the gas tank, this seat, and I think one other item. Oh, I think I got the muffler. I got an offer on the muffler system that I am selling. So I'm kind of basically parting that mower out, just getting my $1,000 back. I will get my $1,000 back on eBay just with some of the various parts that I don't need. Then I got all those upgrades that I took off of that machine for my machine for free basically, and I'll still have all those spare parts left over. Oh, that was the other thing, the some of the pulleys and the belts that were changed in this brand new, I put into this machine here. Also the air intake, but the newer style air intake. But yeah, so this machine is in tip-top shape right now, and should be for some time to come. I had a couple sets of extra air filters that had brand new in it. Whole bunch of parts. Like I said, it was well worth $1,000 just as a parts machine, and that's what it ended up being. So today is walker seat day. I'm putting this seat on, disconnecting this one. This one's going out in the mail. It's sold. I sold that on eBay, like I said, and then at that point, this machine is done. I don't think I've got a video yet of this. This is the gearbox cover that I was missing in the last video that I bought new, and it comes with, I had to buy the 2 little brackets to connect it, so it now screws from here instead of the bolts that used to screw through from here. Just kind of eliminates vibrations and makes it more sturdy. And this style has the rubber pads like this and like this. Not the older, this was the older one that was on there. Actually, no, that's not the one. That's the one for the mulch deck. Where is the, I'll show you the other one. Got it laying around here somewhere. Here it is. Yeah, this was the old unit that was on top of the deck. You can see it just had this sandpaper crap on it. It was worn, bent. And also this one here is made of a thicker gauge metal than this one. So that was kind of an upgrade as well. Basically just brought this about 10 years newer with the upgrades I did. All the things that they've beefed up over the last 10 years on this machine, I was able to retrofit onto it to bring it up to a newer standard basically. So let me do the video on installing the seat, and we're gonna sit down on it and see how it feels. I've heard really good things about these seats. This is a Walker OEM style comfort seat. It's about $350, I think it was. I believe these, yeah, it has the covers are replaceable, so when they get worn or ripped, you could actually replace just the covers and salvage the rest of the seat. You don't have to buy a whole new seat like you had to do with these style here. So, and for those long mowing days, I think it's going to be much more comfortable, so I'm really excited about that. I'm going to do that, and then while I'm down at the shop, I'm going to do a little cleaning up, and I've got those pavers, actually the same pavers as what I have here. I've got 2 rows of them here. I've got about 15 or 20 rows, about 7 feet that way by 16 feet. So I'm going to be able to get almost, I think it was 7 feet from this board that way. So a little past that propane tank, I'm going to be able to add floor, this concrete pavers all the way down there. So that will leave me from basically 18 feet by 16 feet of all concrete to work on here, and barely have any of the stone left. I'm only going to have the last, I think, 6 feet of the garage over there will be stone. That actually may even stay like that. I may never change that. I don't know. It's kind of the area you walk in and out of anyways. I'm not really going to store anything there. I kind of got to leave the area in front of the doors open anyways, because you need to open the doors to get things in and out. And if I'm able to get the floor to, you know, about 6 feet from the end, whatever I pull in here will be completely on the concrete area. So if I'm jacking anything up in the back, front, no matter what, how I have something positioned, I'm gonna have a nice clean solid floor to work on. So that's the idea with that. So pretty excited about that as well. But those are the updates, and let me get going. So anybody that might be wanting to change this seat out, it's pretty simple. The original seat has these plastic tabs, and then there's the spring like so, and then these bolts go through the bottom here right up into the seat. And that's because the older style relies on the seat to actually spring up and down a little bit to hit the safety switch. The safety switch on the older ones is mounted on this metal plate, and it's rigidly mounted, so the seat bouncing up and down, when you sit on it, it pushing down clicks the safety switch. Well, the newer walker seats have the safety switch built right in to the bottom of the seat, so you actually mount this right down flat solid to the body because it doesn't need to move, doesn't need that spring effect. This spring effect right here is what actually, now I've bypassed my safety switches on my machine anyways. I'm the only one that uses it, and I'm well aware on what you do and don't do and how to operate it. So I chose to do that because of reliability. The switches, after time, they get dirty, and then you go to start your mower and it doesn't start. So I've simplified the whole wiring system. I redid the whole wiring system. I put in better connectors that are weather tight and eliminated a bunch of the relays for the system, and basically simplified the whole electrical system so I won't have any problems in the future, or very little problems. But what I'm trying to get at is, if you're replacing your seat, the connector right here, when you buy this seat, it comes with an adapter that would plug into this style safety switch instead of the safety switch that was mounted rigidly to here. So you'll remove that switch, take your wiring, plug your adapter in, and plug it in here. And then basically there's just, you've got some spacers, they're 1/4 inch spacers that go in between here and the seat, and then there's just the 4 bolts that bolt this on. Pretty simple. So, and then the only other thing is these here, these rubber stoppers are designed to stop the seat when you are sitting on it, so it doesn't rub up against the metal. So you've got that springiness basically from here to here, which is enough to engage your safety switch to know that you're sitting on the machine. Okay, so where this seat is going to be rigidly mounted to this panel, we don't need these rubber stoppers either, so I'm gonna remove those, which is kind of a bummer because I just bought those new, not realizing I was going to change it out. I think I bought them new. Maybe I got these off the other machine, I don't remember. I might have got them new, but I'm sure I'll use them for something else. Alright. We've just got 2 more screws up here, 2 more bolts. Last one, I'm going to need a swivel. All right. It should come right off. Alright, so how this mounts up, we've got a bolt with a washer that goes through the bottom, goes up through these holes here. We use these holes, the inside holes, and the outside holes here. So this goes through the back of the body. Then we got these two plastic spacers that are going to give us exactly 1/4 of an inch of a space between. So we go through like this. Alright, and then we got the two plastic spacers all the way around. Just got nice even spacing. See it right in there. You can barely see in there. And then on the inside, I use these ones that were on the top to fill in that hole. It's like a shouldered spacer, just to kind of center that on both of these ones. And these are just hand tightened right in there. Just gotta crank them up and we're ready to go. All right, let's see. Looks good, fits good. Oh, wow. I'll tell you what, that feels good. That feels really good. I was worried if we're gonna lose any space in between here, but no problem at all. Yeah, that's definitely an upgrade. All right, well, best test will be a nice long day of mowing, and we'll have one of those coming up shortly, and I'll update you on what I think of that seat as far as an upgrade and if it's worth the money. So far, by far, I mean, just look at the difference. Look at how thin. This is like almost nothing as opposed to all of that padding. Plus it's got the extra support that comes out here, which is nice, and it definitely angles your back up more, which is really nice. Yeah, definitely supports my back in all the right places. Sweet, I'm excited about that. Can't wait to get mowing this year. All right guys, finished up the floor the best I could with what I had. We gained about 6.5 feet from the end, just about what I figured doing the math. So we originally started with this red colored block, and then I had this two strips right here, 2 runs of concrete pavers, and then that's where that board used to land, was right here. So that board used to be right here, and this is all that we added on from my foot to that board, with the pallet and a half of pavers that I had left over. So, which don't know how it's showing up on camera, but like I said, it's about 3/4 of this whole garage now. So between the wood floor that I have in here, which is obviously still a mess, just so much stuff, there's only so much organization you can do when you have a lot of things. And between that and this concrete floor, I at least have a semi-clean surface to be working on things. So this is the only section that I have left that is not concrete. Which, you know what, if I end up with a few extra concrete bags on a job, I might actually just break out the mixer and dig this out and just pour a small, we're talking, I think it's what, maybe 5 feet here. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, 5 feet. 5 by 16, so what's that, 50, 80 square feet is all I have left here out of the whole garage. So, but yeah, I didn't, you know, put any bedding sand or anything under here. This is just right on the stone dust, but it is compacted and the base is solid, so this is fine. This is all I need. Like I said, keeps it nice and clean and allows me to work on things. Pretty soon I'm gonna have the I'm gonna have a water supply because I have my camper down here, and it has a I think a 50 or a 60 gallon water tank in it and a pump. So my plan is to use that for a water source down here, and I'm gonna run a hose from it into here so I can wash equipment, and I want to actually wet down, you know, wash this floor because it's so dusty down here. The drier it gets down here, there's only so much you can do. I blow it down and you can see it gets all dirty up on the walls and stuff. I do want to be able to paint in here at some point, so I'm gonna have to take that water hose down here and spray everything down and really wet it down good, wash everything down, and then I'll have basically a point where I can close this off and somewhat keep the dust out. You know, like you could just see the dust that's collecting everywhere, as I figured it would. And you can only blow so much of it, it just creates a big cloud of dust, you know. So, but yep, that's it for today's video.